Arash Madani.
How we doing, guys?
There you go.
I got you loud and clear. How we doing?
There you go.
That timing intro was just perfect there.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
I thought we lost. I was like, oh, where was it that you were going through tunnels and
President's Cup. Montreal President's Cup in the fall, yeah.
Yeah. And I haven't paid it close enough attention today, not gonna lie, to NFL free agency. Is there a winner, and maybe non-quarterback? Is there a winner yet, or what are we looking at? Is it the New England Patriots?
I wouldn't go there. I would say player-wise, I think Davante Adams has come out okay. Davante Adams got 2 years of good receiver money, coming off 2 years of being incredibly unproductive in bad situations with the Jets this year, the Raiders prior. And now he's going to be with Matthew Stafford and Puka Nacua and Sean McVay and a Rams team, guys, that was like 2 or 3 plays away from beating Philadelphia in the divisional playoff. Like, I think that of all the fits from a free agent roster or skilled guy who's been on the move so far, to me, Davante Adams is it.
Why did Buffalo go and sign John? Like, I think he was under contract for 2 or 3 more years. Why would they go and sign him? What am I missing there?
Okay, so try and follow me on this one. So, yes, Josh Allen was under contract, and he was grossly underpaid for quarterback standards. He was shy of $40 million. I mean, how are you going to live on $40 million a year, right? So what the Bills have done coming off an MVP season is they're trying to get ahead of it, because think about who's coming up for a contract soon. That number 15 down in Kansas City, and nobody gets cheaper. That's the thing. It's that now Allen makes $1 million more guaranteed than Dak Prescott, who had been the highest paid player in the league. So now Lamar's going to be coming up, Burrow's going to be coming up, Mahomes is going to be coming up. And so the Bills are just saying, you know what, we'll give you the most now so that we're kind of covered for the next few years. And if you're good with just 1 million more than Dak, we're going to go get some weapons around you. And they went and got Josh Palmer, the Toronto kid who the Chargers drafted in the 5th round. They just gave him a 3-year deal. They're trying to surround him with some weapons. And so now they have a happy quarterback, an extended quarterback. He's locked up going into a new stadium, and that's why it all shook down the way it did.
Do you think KC jumps and does Mahomes next right away, or what are your thoughts there, Arash?
It's a good question, Ryan. I don't know, because what they keep doing there is they keep kind of rejigging Mahomes' contract, where he's getting every year more cash up front and kind of kicking the salary cap hit down the road. So, you know, when he signed his $500 million contract or whatever it was during COVID, everyone was like, oh, wow, this is crazy, you know, richest deal ever. And very quickly it didn't become it. So is Mahomes happy with the cap hit being what it is, the cash he's getting, you know, through bonuses, you know how you can structure deals and all that kind of stuff? I think Mahomes right now wants help. And after being under siege in that Super Bowl and that Philly pass rush just going to work on him, they just went and locked up Jalen Moore to be their left tackle. They're Trey Smith, their interior guard. They franchise tagged him. They have Creed Humphrey, their center, under contract. I think Mahomes is telling KC right now, let's go for it this year, and then we'll figure out the contract next.
At the end of the season, it looked like change was coming for Myles Garrett, and now he signs again. So make that all make sense for us.
I want out. I want Trey. Never mind.
Well, I think it's 2 things. One, it's amazing what $130 million guaranteed can do to change your mind, right? But the other is, guys, doesn't it just seem like the Cleveland Browns try and throw all the money at a situation just to hopefully fix it and it'll all go away? Like Deshaun Watson.
You know what I
Yeah.
heard today from a guy that
Would you?
actually the Cleveland Browns are the guy that buys a new house because his marriage is struggling, and he's like, "What? Let's just buy a new house. That'll fix it." That's the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like you have all the dirty dishes after a party, and you're just like, you know what? Let's just sell the house. Like, they keep throwing money at situations. Deshaun Watson told them way back when, I want nothing to do with it. Then they gave him the fully guaranteed deal. Now with Myles Garrett. Look, I get it. You need to have your own. If you want to go get other free agents, you have to say, well, at least we're keeping ours. But I just don't know how Myles Garrett is any closer to what he wants, being on a winning team, now by signing this deal. It's bizarre.
Sam Darnold is going to Seattle.
Yes.
He had a good year. There's no doubt about it. What happened at the end. Has he looked at the weather, what he's going to be playing in Seattle? Is he going to be good in those conditions? Like, he played half of his game in a nice, comfy dome last year.
He did.
And who does he throw? Like, Metcalf is out of there. Speaking of, he wanted to go to warmer weather and have someone that can get him the ball. Now he's in Pittsburgh, which the weather there is suspect at best, from November on. And he's got no one to throw him the ball. So those two moves, I can't make sense of those. I guess money talks, right?
Yeah, for $150 million, DK Metcalf was willing to wear a turtleneck. Here's the thing about Darnold. He went into Seattle in terrible conditions and wind and rain and all that kind of stuff and won the Vikings a game this year. And it's really fascinating just how the narrative around Darnold went, because when Minnesota was 14-2, it felt like he was about to get not quite Josh Allen money, but all the money. And then lays an egg in Detroit, and nothing then went right the next week in the playoffs against the Rams. And I don't blame him for a lot of that. He was, it was basically what Patrick Mahomes went through in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly Sam Darnold just lost all the shine. So you go from 14-2 to then losing back-to-back games, and then it's like nobody wants you. It's fascinating how quickly it can just change like that.
That's who's going to throw the ball to Metcalf in Pittsburgh among other guys. Who do you think ends up there? Is it Rodgers, or they go back with Wilson? Or am I crazy to think that we haven't been talking enough about your boy Kirk Cousins?
I'm trying to figure out the Pittsburgh situation through the lens of Mike Tomlin. To me, Mike Tomlin wants nothing to do with Russell Wilson anymore, or Kirk Cousins, or Aaron Rodgers. Does he feel like he's backed into a corner to have Aaron Rodgers? Is that what's going on here? Aaron Rodgers hasn't had a productive football season in quite a while. Why? I guess all these guys think they can fix him, think they can change him.
Did people watch how he couldn't move? He couldn't get away. Was anyone watching the same football as us? Yeah, I don't know.
Well, Cousins was the same coming off the Achilles.
Yeah, but I don't know about that Atlanta team. If there was as solid, especially the offensive line, as I thought maybe the Jets would be. What's up with your Vikings? What's going on there? They've kind of made some noise on the lines.
Yeah, so they gave a lot of money to an offensive guard, and they gave a lot of money to a center, and they gave a lot of money to a couple of defensive tackles. And they're almost saying, all right, Philadelphia, we're following your model. We are going to try and win games at the point of attack. They've upgraded, they have an upgraded receiving core. They re-up their secondary for the most part. But they're saying if we can get to the quarterback and if we can block the quarterback, we're going to be okay. Aaron Jones is back in the mix. They've shoved all their chips in the middle of the table, Barney, on J.J. McCarthy, a guy who's played one professional preseason game.
Yeah, no chance of Aaron Rodgers playing indoors there? one season?
Barney, after 6 years of Kirk Cousins, if Aaron Rodgers shows up there, then that just might be it. That's when you just walk off the bridge.
They're in an interesting place because they're right in the mix, a year ago. And can they find a way to take another step? But now they lose Sam. And as Arash says, they go back to essentially a rookie quarterback, right? He is a rookie quarterback. And
top 10 pick.
How's Jefferson going to like that?
So a team that feels like they're on the brink, did they move forward or did they move backwards?
That's the question, Ryan. And it's amazing because, draft picks are lottery tickets. McCarthy looked good in camp, they said. He had an okay first preseason, better than okay first preseason game, but you still don't know. And his senior year in college, they win the national championship. JJ McCarthy was handing the ball off to Blake Corum. They have invested all around this football team in free agency. And it seems like they're just going to go with the kid and believe in the kid. It's a fascinating gamble, and it feels like a gamble.
Have you heard anything? I know we're going to talk on Thursday, so I got to leave you with a bit of a tease. Have you heard anything on the CFL commissioner front?
I actually haven't. You have a look on your you have a look on your face like you know something.
My guy, he said, ask Arash if he's got any updates, and ask if there's any news on CFL expansion. I've read this guy's plan. You're going to get it soon. He's got a plan here, and I teased you with the Ticketmaster thing that you thought was pretty cool last week. He's got a plan on different revenues, streams coming in where you don't need the 20, 30,000 people to have a team work. He's a finance guy. He's a numbers guy. He's not a former player. So I don't know how it goes. And I think, is that wrong if the league goes to maybe an outside of the box thinking on this?
It's a good question. I think the number one thing that the league has to focus in on, I understand all these things. And I like outside the box thinking because I find that for a long time they've just been doing the same thing. But the number one biggest revenue generator is their broadcast deal. And that deal is up in a couple of years. And that's what pays
a year.
Yeah, that's what pays the salaries. So to me, number one priority is getting that locked up and then bring everything else. But you need somebody who's going to be able to make that happen. And if they do, great.
Or a
yeah.
He's got, from when I was reading it, he's looking at leagues around the world which had TV deals and TV partners, but now have streaming parts to a TV deal and other revenues, not just one TV deal. So,
okay.
I'm waiting. I'm just like, when can we go with this? And I just wanted to know if you've got any inside baseball on your end, maybe by Thursday.
Maybe by Thursday. Okay.
Well, it's the interesting conundrum is the TV deal more valuable because it's an exclusive, or the more pieces of pie that you break up, does it become more valuable or less valuable?
I just don't know how many places it can land anymore, unless there are streaming services willing to pay. And I just don't know the answer to that question. Are there for the CFL? I just don't know.
And gambling. He's got some real interesting thoughts on the gambling front. But let's circle back on Thursday. Okay. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
Talk soon, Arash.
Coast to coast with Arash Madani for smart investing solutions. Be smart with your money. Call Brian Golly, especially right now. If you're looking at the markets and what's happening today, give Big Bri a call, 546-2533. Ask him if there's, hey, what should I be buying low year because they were volatile, and I'm not a big market guy, but I was looking at things and I was like, ooh wee, wonder what Brian thinks about that. Quick break. When we come back, we might slide in our SJHL report with Commissioner Kyle McIntyre. It's a Sports Cage streaming live from the Brand Center at sportscage.com and on X.